American healthcare is, I think, the best healthcare system in the world, but it's not without its challenges.
Our healthcare costs are increasing. Our outcomes in general are not improving.
Public health metrics are worse than they should be. Our life expectancy is now beginning to decline.
The way that providers are paid to deliver care doesn't incentivize the right efforts we need.
Every day we see enormous healthcare inequality, both in our own country in the US and around the world.
Fragmentation of healthcare is really a big challenge. It's hard for anybody to navigate the system.
We need more care providers of all types, but we also have care providers who are candidly exhausted, burnt out for a host of reasons.
People do not think beyond their silos and don't actually understand the multifactorial complexities to the problems that we are seeing.
If you think about the future of healthcare, right, there often is this idea that what we need to do is we have to have the single home run solution. The reality is there will be no single thing that fixes healthcare. Instead, you need to identify problems you want to fix, and you need to actually purpose build a business that solves that specific problem. The goal of healthcare at Kellogg as a sort of pedagogical institution is to help students establish a long-run career where they can be business decision makers in healthcare and create a positive impact on the world. What perhaps epitomizes that, I think, is the healthcare deep dive.
The deep dive is a set of immersive classes that you take over the course of a quarter in different cities around the country. And it gives you an opportunity to really connect the dots in a way that no other program can do.
We bring in a set of people from all of our degree granting platforms. There's nowhere else in the country where you can have executive MBA, part-time MBA, full-time MBA, and alumni auditors who are deep industry expertise working together in class.
Normally we don't get to interact, but this weekend we're all together. It's healthcare all day, every day.
We've had CEOs join us, we've had managing partners join us, and I think just hearing from them directly about their experiences working in healthcare as well has made the whole experience come to life.
Then you get to engage with these faculty members and practitioners in ways you never can just in a class environment.
What I really love about Kellogg is the quality of the students and the collaborative environment.
These are people really across the full spectrum of different kinds of business people who touch healthcare in all of its forms. But more than that, I was really impressed by their engagement, their interest in trying to knit together their understanding of what they had been doing in healthcare and what they were learning.
So the connections and friendships that you make in Deep Dive, I would argue, are some of the best parts of it.
And so for me, being in an exploratory phase of my career where I'm trying to figure out where I want to go, a 10-minute conversation can just spark the next 10 years of my life.
I can really take the learnings from the classroom and apply it directly into my job tomorrow.
Normally in my evening classes, I'm coming to class after a busy day at work, taking care of my family. Here, I have protected 3 days of my life where I'm not thinking about work, thankfully, and I get to just think about the topics in class, getting to know my classmates, and trying to dream what I want to do about healthcare next.
I don't want to sugarcoat anything. This was a really rigorous program in a really good way, but you invest all that time and energy so that you get that result, so that you're really able to take those discussions to the right level.
I applied to Kellogg because I knew it was really strong within the healthcare space. The deep dive and being here and participating in this has been a true testament to that.
Pumping people through with fee-for-service, like
the way that Professor Garthwaite teaches the class in healthcare strategy, he started off by asking the question that, do you think healthcare is a fundamental right of humans? And how do you judge that?
When people are experiencing healthcare, it's for many people, it is the worst or hardest time of their life. And so I think there's such a deep connection with individuals, and for me, it's the ultimate patient and thinking about patient experiences that really drew me into healthcare.
Healthcare is what I see every day, what I experience every day, what I touch every day. I've had a few family tragedies, in healthcare, in my own personal life. My mom recently passed due to cancer. My wife had a huge car accident before, and essentially Johnson & Johnson's product saved my wife. My mother was on a lot of chemotherapies, and that prolonged her life for 2.5 years. Within those 2.5 years, I had a kid. I got married, and she got chances to actually enjoy that with us, with the family. without the medicines, she would be gone. And I really felt like, if what I'm doing is helping my family, then what I'm doing is helping the families of others and of, people of others. And that really just draws me into the industry. That makes me feel like I'm doing something meaningful.
I interned over the summer at Vertex Pharmaceuticals on their new product planning team. Very interested in their pipeline, particularly the type 1 diabetes work. I'm type 1 diabetic, so going to work on new product planning for their T1D cell therapies. I feel like people don't really understand the burden of type 1 diabetes unless you have it. I'm excited to help type 1 diabetics because of that personal connection, and also because it's helping them not with managing the disease better. Hopefully, if what Vertex is working on is successful, it'll just remove the entire burden of managing the disease.
I did not set out to have a job in biotech. I set out to have an impact. And I believe that each one of the people here at this healthcare deep dive program have a different why. And my why is to expand access. It is to elevate voices and experiences, and at the end of the day, to save lives. And for me to be able to do that in marketing, not wielding a stethoscope, it is something that I think is unique to the healthcare industry and how diverse the opportunities are within it.
Kellogg is equipping these students, and not just in the deep dive program, but more broadly, to become future leaders in this industry, who are the ones who are ultimately going to be relied on to push organizations forward and make good decisions. And that's the difference between having life-saving medicines make it to market and having life-saving medicines that don't.
Kellogg does a wonderful job of developing those leaders. That is part of Kellogg's secret sauce.
Leadership matters, but leadership that is inspiring and supporting teams. These are hard problems, they require innovation, and I don't see how you can do innovation without getting the most out of very diverse, cross-functional teams who are just driven. They feel they're on this planet to solve this problem.
The healthcare deep dive has been both transformative and very holistic.
We all view healthcare solutions from our own lens and our own perspective, be it from pharmaceuticals versus services, or even within our scopes. Everyone has their own approach or way to think that we need to solve healthcare, but really there are many solutions that need to come together. And so it's been really cool meeting people in this program who all have their own piece of the puzzle, and none of us have the single solution. It's really all of us working together.
And no one is going to be able to move this huge boulder up this hill and fix healthcare. But I think if we each figure out what is the piece of the boulder that we're going to attack first, and know your thing and do your thing well, and know how that thing connects to the other pieces, there's a little bit more hope in how we're going to be able to shift the tides in the right direction.
I've been in classes before at other places that have been deeply cynical, or others that are highly optimistic but almost on the point of naivete. We have a real blend at Kellogg of folks who come with lots of different perspectives, and that alchemy of pragmatic optimism is just very infectious. And when we think about what healthcare really needs, it is that pragmatic optimism, because you got to persevere. This is a journey for the ages, and having the right tools on that journey is going to be really critical.
Thank you.